25%. That's how many FAFSA forms are just abandoned mid-process. Anybody that's ever filled out the FAFSA knows that it can be confusing, it can be redundant, and it can be long. Until maybe they fill out the CSS profile, they get a little better dose of that. But the details matter here. There's a lot writing on the line, and this is just how many people abandon it. What about all the people that make mistakes and miss out on more financial aid? That's why we're here. We're going to talk through the mistakes that you need to avoid when filling out the FAFSA so you can qualify for the most financial aid. My name is Michael McKelvey, and I'm the founder of College Guide Pro, the leading solution for parents and students to plan, shop, and find thousands in savings on college. But if you're new here, you are probably in the midst of the college planning process, which means you want to hit that subscribe button to follow along for more insights on the college planning process. Let's jump into it. Mistake number one, just not filling it out. The only failure is the failure not to try. That was George Clooney. I don't know what it is, but when you look up quotes like this, because I was curious who actually did say that, these websites will list like celebrities, like as if George Clooney was the first to say that, not somebody in maybe like the 1700s or something. I don't know, but I guess listen to George Clooney. Make sure to fill out the FAFSA. Don't forget. Mistake number two is filling out the FAFSA too late. There's actually a few different deadlines here. Most people are aware of maybe the federal deadline, maybe not, but there is a school deadline, there is a state deadline, and there is a federal deadline. And that school deadline trips people up because it's actually pretty early a lot of times. So the way that it works is you'll submit your FAFSA online, but you'll list out the schools. And each school, these are all different businesses, will have their own deadline. So you want to make sure you have an understanding of what that deadline is, or you can just avoid all of this and submit it within the first few days. But second, state funds will run out. There's only so much. Money is finite, unless we maybe print more of it, but we'd never do that. Do not include your primary residence as an asset. Don't include the equity. Now, the CSS profile does care about this, and this is why in our software we list out all the different EFCs for you at the top, but this is not included for federal financial aid, so don't include your primary residence. Counting your assets incorrectly. So the assets that you report are at the time of submitting the FAFSA, not at the beginning of the year, not at the end of the year, but when you're submitting it. So make sure to give an accurate number there. Do not include your retirement assets. So there is a question about retirement contributions, not how much you have in your retirement accounts, but how much you've contributed to retirement accounts in the year that they're using, that base year. And that's because what they're looking for is a play that sometimes people think you can get away with, where you contribute a bunch of money the year that you're taking your base year for FAFSA, you drop that EFC and qualify for more financial aid. Unfortunately, that does get added back into the equation here. So it does get added back into the EFC. So maybe having a bulk contribution to your retirement account, you're thinking, hey, I can qualify for more aid if I do this. That does get added back, but do not include your overall retirement account values. Double counting an asset. There's the student section and the parent section. Don't attribute an asset to both of them. Using the wrong tax year. This is always a point of confusion. I think it's easiest just to show you an example. If you're filling out the FAFSA here October 1st in 2022, you would use 2021's tax return for the 2023 to 2024 school year. Okay, so there's that 2-year gap. It confuses people. Sometimes counselors will just say, use prior year. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, It's a point of confusion for a lot of people. I think the chart is just easiest to return here. We're visual learners. Take a look at the chart. Make sure you use the right tax return. Miscounting the number of people in your household. This does affect financial aid. The more people you have, the more you would theoretically qualify for. And there's a question on it that really confuses people. So pretty much everyone who is a dependent or financially supported in the house would be included. That includes the person filling out the FAFSA. That includes maybe a sibling that is off at school currently. That includes parents. And if the parents are divorced, you would just include the custodial parent who provides more than half of the financial support. So there are some nuances here. I could go deeply into it, all the different people that would be included in the household, all the different situations. Point being here is just pause when you get to this question and make sure that you fill it out accurately, because sometimes there's more people that would be included in that household than you're aware of, or maybe you only include one parent if your parents are divorced. Just make sure that you fill this out correctly. I see this mistake. There's also another question on how many siblings you have that will be in college. They don't distinguish between undergrad and graduate here, at least when they're asking this question in the FAFSA. This drastically impacts how much you qualify for right now, but this is actually set to change in a bad way for the following years. So make sure that you fill this out accordingly, because it's a big deal for how much aid you might qualify for. So hopefully you found this video helpful. And as always, if you feel like you'd benefit from having a guide, that's why we created College Guide Pro. So click the link down in the description to learn more about that, to see how parents and students are finding over $78,000 in savings per child through our award-winning software. You'll also get access to our college savings masterclasses and live ongoing support from our unrivaled college planning experts. Again, hopefully you found this video helpful. So check it out if you haven't, and take care.